Welcome to Flawless Shoe Reviews. This is the Arahi 7 and this is the Adrenaline GTS 24. One of them is a max stability shoe that's designed for more balanced cushioning. The other is a mild to moderate stability shoe that's more designed for up-tempo workouts. I'm going to break down the features of each shoe so you have a better idea of which shoe works best for you. So when we look at the Arahi 7, on top of the shoe, we've got a narrow fit in the toe box, so a bit more like a race-like fit. So it wraps around your toes, not ideal for those of you with a wider foot, but it does come in a wide version. If you're looking for a really broad forefoot in the Hoka range, look at the Gaviota 5. As we move up to the tongue, it's gusseted and padded. We've got ample amount of cushioning around the heel counter that's moderately stiff. In the Adrenaline GTS 24, we've got a much more plush upper on top, so it's a bit thicker, a bit more padded. It's got much more room in the toe box, and it comes in a wide version as well. The tongue isn't gusseted, but it's got plenty of padding, and it's got a lot more padding around the heel counter, and it's got a very stiff heel counter. Now, having a stiff heel counter helps cradle your heel, helping to control pronation moments when you initiate contact with the ground, where it's a lot more flexible in the Arahi 7. But they're completely different in terms of how they provide stability. So in the Adrenaline GTS 24, you can see the striped aspect of the midsole. That's a more denser cushioning that you feel push up into the arch of your foot. So it's a classic medial arch support. So those of you who like that intrusive type of support, you'll really enjoy the Adrenaline. Then it's got the DNA Loft nitrogen injected cushioning underneath, which is much more balanced cushioning than we got in the previous model, which is a bit firmer. In contrast to that, we've got stability via J-frame in the Arahi 7, so that's denser cushion that wraps around the back of the shoe, all the way up the inside of the shoe, all the way up to the big toe. So it's denser cushioning that's harder to compress, but it's not intrusive, so you don't necessarily feel that push up into your foot, so it's a lot more subtle version of stability. It's also unique in terms of providing stability all the way up onto your big toe, so all the way through that gait cycle, tries to keep your foot nice and centered in the shoe, helping to control that pronation forces all the way up. It's got a nice broad base of support, some sole flare to help you keep your foot centered in the shoe, and the midsole is this classic CM EVA cushioning that we see in most of the Hoka lineup, so it's relatively responsive, similar midsole to what we get in the Hoka Clifton 9, so when you apply pressure to it, it springs you back out again, great energy of return. Whereas the balanced cushioning that we see in the Adrenaline GTS 24, it has a better use case for those longer miles, those easier runs. It doesn't have that snap to it, so it's not as good for up-tempo workouts. It's also slightly heavier, coming in at 283 grams versus 272 grams in the Arahi 7, and there's a big difference in heel drop. So you've got a 12mm drop with 35 in the rear foot, 23 in the forefoot in the Adrenaline, so that's really good for offloading your Achilles if you've got issues with that, but if you stand enough for long periods of time, it can put extra pressure on your forefoot. In contrast to that, in the Arahi 7, we've got a 5mm drop with 34mm in the rear foot, 29 in the forefoot. So we've got a mild stability shoe in the Arahi 7. It provides stability in a unique way via the J-frame. It can be used for all different types of workouts. It's definitely a workhorse of a shoe. In contrast to that, in the Adrenaline GTS 24, more balanced cushioning. It can be used for longer miles, easier miles. An excellent shoe if you want to walk all day or if you want to offload your Achilles tendon. The Arahi 7 can also be used for walking and standing all day, but if you're looking for more comfort, more plushness to it, and you still want a stability shoe, you might look towards the Gaviota 5. If you have any questions on the shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. Picking up the shoes through the links in the description helps fund our channel without affecting the price that you pay. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Liking, sharing, subscribing really makes a massive difference to the channel.